Hello, and welcome to our lesson on project monitoring and project control. This segment will cover monitoring and controlling process group. The monitoring and controlling process group encompasses the essential processes to oversee, evaluate, and manage the project's progress and performance. It involves tracking project activities, reviewing outcomes, and adjusting plans as necessary. Monitoring entails collecting performance data, generating metrics, and sharing performance information, while controlling involves comparing actual performance to the planned one, analyzing variances, identifying trends for process enhancements, exploring alternatives, and recommending corrective actions when required. Controlling involves comparing actual performance to the planned one, analyzing variances, identifying trends for process enhancements, exploring alternatives, recommending corrective actions when required. This process group's primary advantage lies in regularly measuring and analyzing project performance to detect and rectify deviations from the project management plan. It includes activities such as evaluating change requests, suggesting proactive measures for potential issues, ongoing monitoring against baselines, and influencing factors to ensure approved changes are implemented. The monitoring and controlling process group includes the following project management processes: monitor and control project work, performing integrated change control, validate scope, control schedule, control costs, control quality, control resources, monitor communications, monitor risks, control procurements, monitor stakeholder engagement. Monitor and control project work involves systematically tracking, reviewing, and providing updates on the overall project advancement against the performance objectives outlined in the project management plan. This process's primary advantage lies in enabling stakeholders to comprehend the project's present status, acknowledge the measures taken to tackle performance issues, and gain insight into the anticipated project status, including forecasts for costs and schedules. Performing integrated change control involves scrutinizing all change requests, authorizing changes, and overseeing modifications to deliverables, organizational process assets, project documents, and the project management plan. The process evaluates change requests related to project documents, deliverables, or the project management plan, deciding on their resolution. The primary advantage of this process lies in systematically considering documented changes within the project in an integrated fashion, thereby addressing overall project risk. This approach helps mitigate potential issues arising from modifications made without considering the overarching project objectives or plans. Validate scope entails formalizing the acceptance of the finished project deliverables. This process is instrumental in introducing objectivity to the acceptance procedure, enhancing the likelihood of accepting the final product, service, or result by thoroughly validating each deliverable. Control scope involves overseeing project and product scope status while handling adjustments to the scope baseline. This process's primary advantage lies in maintaining the scope baseline throughout the project's duration. Control schedule entails overseeing the project's status, updating the project schedule, and handling modifications to the schedule baseline. The primary advantage of this process is the consistent maintenance of the schedule baseline throughout the project. Control costs involve monitoring the project's status, revising project costs, and adjusting the cost baseline. The significant advantage of this process is the continuous maintenance of the cost baseline throughout the project. This process is executed throughout the project. Control quality involves monitoring and documenting the outcomes of quality management activities to evaluate performance and ensure that project outputs are thorough, accurate, and aligned with customer expectations. This process's primary advantage is verifying project deliverables and working to meet the requirements outlined by critical stakeholders for final acceptance. Control resources involves guaranteeing that the physical resources designated and distributed to the project are accessible as scheduled. It also entails monitoring the planned versus actual utilization of resources and implementing corrective measures as required. Monitor communications involves ensuring that the project and its stakeholders' information requirements are fulfilled. The primary advantage of this process is the optimal flow of information as outlined in the Communications Management Plan and Stakeholder Engagement Plan. Monitor risks involves overseeing the execution of agreed-upon risk response plans, monitoring identified risks, identifying and analyzing new risks, and evaluating the effectiveness of the risk management process throughout the project. The main advantage of this process is that it provides up-to-date information on the overall project risk exposure and individual project risks, allowing project decisions to be informed by current data. Control procurements involve overseeing procurement relationships, monitoring contract performance, implementing changes and corrections as necessary, and concluding contracts. The primary advantage of this process is ensuring that both the seller's and buyer's performance aligns with the project's requirements as stipulated in the legal agreements. Monitoring stakeholder engagement involves overseeing project stakeholder relationships and adapting strategies for engaging stakeholders by adjusting engagement plans. The main advantage of this process is its ability to sustain or enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of stakeholder engagement activities as the project progresses and encounters changes in its environment. This is the end of our lesson. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening and see you on our next lesson.